My name is Ojas Chaudhary and he is Rahul Menon. We both are partners at Studio Tab. We formalized our office in around 2011 properly. As a firm, we have a very open culture. We have friends, we have students of architecture who come over to our office. We have a lot of discussions with them about our projects. That is how we formulate our briefs, the way we design and other things. In terms of projects what we undertake, we take retail sections, we have residential, we do commercial as well as hospitality sections also. So the project what we will be discussing more or less today is on the residential, the architecture bungalow what we had done.
So the time we started off with this project, the first thing, it was a brief. It was not a simple brief at all. See, in fact, the brief had these plenty of kind of actions to it. First, it was just a simple one that the family was from a joint family setup who has stayed in that house in the past kind of 40 odd years, who are now planning to shift into their own separate house. See, for a small family, they required a functional house with no frill spaces. They didn't require a spa, a gym room, etc. Yet the space should have a certain amount of style and flair to it. The kind of challenge was they were accustomed to a certain style of a homes since the past kind of 40 odd years. Home that kind of speaks about their social status. We didn't agree to that. We felt the space should be the start throughout.
The site is located in the outskirts of the Bangalore. The site is quite simple if you want to see. It's just kind of a rectangle which has been taken up. So this is where the road is. The north is out here. In terms of future gridlock, what is going to happen now, this is somewhat kind of an industrial area. So it's going to come up with maybe a industrial area or maybe a residential of them. It's going to be covering up the entire space on the three sides with bungalows and other things. So our challenge was to fit the entire thing at the back of the rear of the plot out here. So this is where we thought about the footprint of the bungalow. Was like we don't get any negative spaces at the back, on the sides, and as well as the privacy is not hampered. At the same time, they have their entire frontage to themselves. It can open up into a nice garden, to the space where they can play around, they can enjoy the space. It also helped us in getting a kind of introvert planning of the entire space. In terms of challenges, we had a strict bylaw of the locals over there, that the space should not be more than G plus ground floor in a way, and the square feet of the entire built up should not be more than 3,500. So when we started on the drawing board about the zoning of the space, we tried to create demarcations of the spaces, how it should be divided. So we zoned the living room, the bedrooms and other things as per the Vastu norms. We put the bedrooms at the back for the privacy, and the other things, the living, the drawing, that thing comes in the front more or less, because the entire house opens up into the front here. So what we did is, we removed these walls, we made this as an entirely open space. So what we have is this as the section of the house, which is approximately 70 feet wide without any barriers of the wall. Now this was the kitchen area, this was the living. Obviously you require some kind of a demarcation, but you don't require a physical barrier of the wall. So hence we inserted a courtyard out here. Now we love courtyards in our designs. That becomes the focal point of the entire house. So this is where the entire courtyard comes in place. And you automatically have two separate spaces demarcated by their own zones. And it's yet combined together with a 70 feet long view to each other. This also helped us in creating a space which is, in terms of square feet, is small, but in terms of the feel of the entire space, it's quite big in a way. So the elevation of the house was the ground floor. We couldn't do much because of the height restrictions. So now the climate part came into our. So what we had is, this is the plot what we have. This is north, comes the east. The sun will be moving from here And since we have all the public spaces in the front and we have those large opening which opens up into the front yard, the frontage was completely like, it should not have the harsh sunlight which is coming in from the sun. So that way what we did is we made these huge overhangs in the frontage and keeping the one void which is there of the courtyard. So this created the frontage for us. This is the overhang which cut down the sun which is entering the house in a way. So if you start from the frontage, when you are entering the house, it's more or less a kind of a raw concrete finish what we are given with subtle wood finishes inserts over there. Once you come inside the house, it's more or less whites over there with subtle black porto coming as the wall cladding for the basin area. The marble which is there on the floor, that itself becomes the basin for the house, and a lot of wood which we are used in the courtyard area. So it's more or less like white palette with inserts of wood and the marbles in those.
Maximum homes, we find that the shrine is inside a small dark room. We felt that the shrine is supposed to be a space in which the thing is someone can pray with a certain amount of tranquility. So what have we tried out here is that the thing is like the shrine is inside the yard, wherein the central space is a short flowering tree. Shrine is on the front side with a skylight on the top. So the whole experience of praying shall have a freshness to it, sunrise into the space, and especially the charm is the time it will rain.
In terms of children's bedroom, we didn't want splashes of colors over there. Since it's a young age, a lot of people want colors over there. But the thing is, it should be a kind of a timeless experience. So what we did is we tried to design something in terms of geometric which will stay forever. The material palette, what we did was in the headboard where we had the wood geometrical shapes converting into a foam based geometrical shapes behind the headboard. So that is what we tried to have as a material over there.
For us, the journey has been extremely fulfilling. Journey spanned across 15 months. What we truly feel is that the space stays forever. Your sofas, your drapes, your frames on the wall, surface treatment, etc. It's all just superficial. That can be changed every year. Trends change. And thus your focus should be throughout on the space and space only.